Hello again, welcome back to the dojo. This time is the last time. So let's jump into your work. Okay, I have 4 submissions. This is Daniel. We have Kensa, Joe, and Andre. Let's see a few of great things you have going on this set of boards, and also a few things may use a little bit of improvement. For Daniel, I love the way you were looking for an art direction with these uh, color shadows, especially in the fifth board and the last one. This is a really interesting style you were looking for. I think you were trying to do the same with the flame here. I think it's not quite working for the flames. Especially because it looks like it's a shape behind the flames, but not really like a shadow. In the case of the leaves and the fist, it looks like a bit more like this double shadow. But here it looks like a flame in another fashion. And I think you can achieve this idea maybe trying to play with the opacity or placement of this purple flame. And something we were talking about during the reviews was like maybe this idea could start a little bit early in one of your boards or two. I think it's nice experiment, nice art direction, different from the others. I don't know, maybe it could be happening in the elephant one or just a tiny bit in the first one. Has to like this effect is starting slowly starting at the beginning of these frames and then it's becoming obvious at the end with the Ninja Gear one. I think the background texture here is really nice. I would love to see a little bit of vignette in these words. Feel like a lack of maybe darkening the edges. It could help all these elements to stand out. And in this first one, I think the action lines are nice, are really communicating the motion. Maybe the rope is too curvy in this one. This one with the elephant is really funny, like this, the eye, and like it's really nice. I love the way you distort the elephant to make it feel like it's being lifted or hanging on this rope. I'm not quite sure about this drop shadow of the rope. I think it would be great to have like this contact shadow between the rope and the elephant here, and maybe avoid this part of the shadow because it looks like the rope is just in front of the background and the elephant is not having the same effect. It's not helping the integration of the elements in this case. The titles are nice. I like that one is white and the other one is black. Maybe the one with the elephant could be a little bit bigger. I like the balance between the two elements here, but I would try to make it bigger to see what happens if maybe it's working better next to this frame, to the first frame. Uh, in this one, I think you can use a little bit of contact shadow in the feet. Here, like next to the tummy, you have a little bit of shadow, which is really nice. But I think using a drop shadow in this case is not really working because of the same thing of the previous one. It's like making the elephant look in front of the background, very close to the background, and not like the background is something like it's behind all these elements. So we have this 4 board, it is nice. We have the same thing going on here. Next, the transition, which is also nice. You did a great job here, like trying to express the hook is pulling this middle line and bringing the next frame. I like these action lines, like type out the action lines here, and finally we end up in these ladders burning on fire. I really like how you integrate some parts of the flames with the ladders, but I would like to see it a bit more on the legs of the stairs, and maybe try to work a little bit more with the brightness or of the ladders to make it feel like they're really burning into these flames. This one is a lot of fun. I'm not quite sure about this little edge here. This, I think you can cover this part here and just leave this other side. Just this tiny bit of green in this area is looking like more like an error rather than something you want to do with the art direction. Next, the Ninja Gear text, and the final one, which is really nice. So nice work, Daniel. Thank you for your submission and for all the submissions through the course. And then we have Kensa. Okay, I like to see all the boards together to begin with, because we can really see how all these sets of boards are working together. I think there is a lot of contrast in terms of colors and brightness here. I think it's a really good thing, but maybe you're overdoing a little bit of this color correction in one or two of your boards. Let's go one by one. This first one, it's awesome. I love this one. Like, love the way the hook is looking here. The action lines are beautiful, communicating the motion. Really good job. This one, wow, this one is a lot of fun. Probably the color correction, it's a bit strong in this hypo, but I kind of like it. I think in this one it's a bit strong, but what I'm worrying about here is the rope. The rope is kind of losing a lot of details. I try to preserve a little bit more of details on the rope, and maybe in this part trying to have a better cut, a better alignment with the animal. I think there is like a tiny little white edge around the legs. This could use a little bit of refinement. Also in this one, I love the shadow, this shadow you are casting here on the ground, and the little uh, flare you're adding is really nice. I think it's too big for this hook, and it's covering all the hook, so we cannot see the hook at all. So maybe you can have a you can scale this element down a little bit, or place it a little bit to the right or so, but it's a really nice touch. Then the transition, which is nice. I think these parts, the lines here, could use a little bit of refinement. Like we can see like this angle, this square angle here and here, and I would like to see it little bit smoother, and the action lines also really nice. I think the knot here it's blue, while the rope is kind of brown, dark, very dark brown, or even almost black. And I try to keep the same color in both elements. Uh, and this one with the flames and ladders, this is really nice. I would like to see a little bit more of chaos going on in this one. I love the stylish uh, shadows you're adding here, and the little flames are really nice. Some more layers of chaos going on here. It would be really like burning this whole thing. It'd be great, but it's a really nice style. And this one, I think you're maybe overdoing the contrast, the brightness and contrast, color correction. We can see like this edge around the glove here. It, and I think you can try to avoid this kind of effect. And also this area, it's like too dark compared with the glow, the overall glow. So I would reduce the color correction a little bit in this one. I love have you place all the leaves, especially inside the fist, and the action lines are really nice, communicating the motion like the leaves are blowing around. I also think maybe it's the color correction you have here. It's like too strong for the leaves as well. Maybe they're like they're too red and almost without detail. So try to preserve a little bit of detail in these ones. Then the title board, and finally this final board is working really nice. I love how you place the row between the title lines, the action lines are really nice. So awesome job, Kenza. Right, let's see all the boards together once more. These are really nice. We can see the vignettes also going on here, especially in the darker ones, the first one and the last two. Maybe you can try to have a little bit more of vignette in the ladders one, and also in this one with the fist. So let's move to the next one. This is Joe's. Joe is, I think you did an awesome job in this assignment. I think this turns out very good. Let's go one by one. The texture you're using and the noise, all these little hairs you're adding here, there's awesome. The style is awesome. The way you're communicating the motion is working very well. I think this title you can maybe reduce a little bit the spacing between the two lines, like the leading. But these action lines are really nice, like communicating this curvy motion, the rope, the direction of the rope. The second one is a lot of fun. Also, you have a contact shadow between the elephant and the rope, which is working very well. I think it's maybe too dark. I reduce it just a tiny bit, but it's awesome work. This third one, I think maybe the distortion, it's a little bit too much here. Other than that, it's awesome. Also, you cast a shadow on the ground here, and it's working really nice because you have this like strong light coming from this side of the sorry, coming from this side, according to the idea of casting a shadow in this direction. This is really nice touch. I'm not quite sure what these things are. I think there might be like the windows here. They're not in the right position, but the hook and the rope and the general composition is really nice. Same here. You have these little windows out of place. The transition is really nice, and maybe you can play a little bit with this straight line, like pulling the line a little bit, but it's just a different style maybe, and this is also nice. I like the way you're hitting the two back legs of the hook. The the ladders and flames are awesome. This is the noise on all these flames, the style of the flames are working very well. This one is great. I think there is a tiny thing going on here with this, what some like a part of a leaf. But other than that, this is just a tiny detail. This is working very well. The color correction, it's fantastic. I love the way you're highlighting the fist using a gradient or a vignette effect. The action lines, everything is really, really nice. Also here, the same vignette. It's like highlighting the title, the main title, the logo. And the final one is also really nice. I think maybe with all the energy you have in your boards, maybe this line, this rope could be a little bit more, or could be a little bit less curvy. But hey, this is awesome work, Joe. Congratulations on this one. It's awesome work. And finally, we have Andre. Andre, this one is really nice. I love this. Well, let's take a look to all the boards. This is kind of different to the others. The color is not so strong, like the color correction is not so hard to contrast. I was playing a little bit with the second one to add a little bit of contrast and vignette to see what could be happening if we add a little bit of contrast, and also try to add a vignette which isn't black but maybe brownish a little bit, and using a vivid light blending mode. And I kind of like this, how this is turning out. I think this like helping the main design, the design stands out, but of course art direction decision. If we go one by one, we can see the action lines, cinematic lines here. The way you're using the knot here is very different to the others, and I think it's really nice. I would love to see a little bit of the hook in front of the rope, like the knot is really tied to the hook, and maybe the knot is kind of big if you compare it with the hook, but it's a great one. Then I love this one, like the elephant is looking like a bit sad being lifted by this rope. Um, we have also this one where you can improve the edges of the elephant, and also add a little bit of contact shadow, like a small shadow, to make the elephant feel more integrated with this roof. I think the hook here, it's very, very small. Maybe you need to work a little bit more on the size of the elements, like simulate this is a tiny little house with a big elephant. It should be better here to see. We can have like a little house and a much more bigger elephant maybe. And I think this tiny This tiny hook could work out better if the house looks like a tiny little house. The transition is nice. The way you're communicating the emotion, it's also really nice. And this time we have a dark background for the flames and ladders. I think this is a really nice style for this board. I I think the shapes of the flames are nice, but you can play a bit more with the placement and especially with the opacity or blending modes to make it feel like they are in between the ladders and burning all these ladders. Also, if you play with some curves like trying to have bright areas in these ladders. This could be a really nice touch, like the fire is affecting the ladders. The little these little sparkles you add here are a very nice touch. I think they're looking like drops instead of sparkles. If you if you change the shape of these little ones, I think this could turn out very well. It's really nice job. We have the fist here. You did a great job adding the leaves between the fingers and communicating the motion in the leaves and the fist. This is really nice. I don't really think you need a drop shadow in these leaves, especially because there is not any other drop shadow going on in this one. These two are looking like they are uh, right over the background, while the others are more like flying away. And let's move to the title board and the final one, which is really nice. This one I really like the little leaves are around the title. I think the action lines are communicating more motion than the rope. It's looking like the speed of the road is maybe not too much, but overall I think it's a great set of boards. So let's go one by one. Have this one, this Joe, Kenza, and Daniel. Let's go for all the boards. Everyone, you did an awesome job. I'm so proud of all the hard work you've been putting during the course. I love the way the work of everyone has improved during the assignments. This is awesome. I think this final assignment is a really tough one. I love to have 4 submissions to work a little bit here with all of you and hope you have an awesome future in your careers and in your lives. Bye bye, everyone.